Gnyanvapi. Of late, it has emerged as a topic of public discourse. And just in case if you have a very good habit of not watching the news channels, let me briefly explain to you what the issue about Gyanvapi is. In Kashi, the Grand Vishwanath Mandir and the Gyanvapi Mosque stand side by side. Approximately 400 years ago, this barbaric tyrant and a religious maniac called Aurangzeb demolished the Grand Kashi Vishwanath Mandir and built a mosque in that space. And ever since then, it has always been a controversial topic. The Hindu side's version is this space on which the mosque is standing today is absolutely sacrosanct for Hindu community over thousands of years, and they want the Kashi Vishwanath Mandir to be restored. And the Muslim side version is it has been a place of prayer for them for last couple of centuries, and it is important for them as well. Hence the conflict, and this essentially is the sum and substance of this Gnyanvapi issue. Now coming back to this doc film, right off the bat, let me clarify my position. I am making this doc film as a Hindu, a practicing Hindu of Sanatana Dharma. And my objective is to educate the Hindu community on the significance of Gnyanvapi. So I am biased in this doc film, but biased towards truth and nothing else. So let's get started. There are many hues to this topic of Gnyanvapi: political, religious, cultural, historical, etc. So I intend to draw a boundary for this video to bring forward the origins of Gnyanvapi. What is the actual cultural, historical and spiritual significance of Gnyanvapi? And for that, we have to refer Skanda Maha Puranam, the magnum opus created by Veda Vyasa Maharshi, the largest Mahapurana of all the 18, and a very important instrument in the Ram Janmabhoomi verdict of Ayodhya. A quick side note, for those of you who are interested, search and download the Ram Janmabhoomi verdict of Ayodhya. It's around 1000 plus pages, and read for yourself what role did Skanda Maha Puranam played in that case of Ram Janmabhoomi in Ayodhya. Coming back to Skanda Purana, with more than 100,000 slokas, Skanda Purana is the largest of all the 18 Mahapuranas, and internally it is of 7 different books: Maheshwara Khanda, Vaishnava Khanda, Brahma Khanda, Kashi Khanda, Avantya Khanda, Nagara Khanda and Prabhasa Khanda. Of these 7, Kashi Khanda, this part of Skanda Puranam, extensively details about Kashi. If anyone wanted to learn about Kashi, the most authentic, oldest and the best source is Skanda Puranam. So that is where we'll start our research about Gnyanvapi. As Kashi Khanda itself spans across thousands of slokas, I've just picked up 5 most important points that are very relevant and very essential for the context of Gnyanvapi and what every Hindu should learn about it given the current situation. First things first, starting with the name of Kashi. This entire Kashi Khanda is a conversation between Skanda and Agastya Maharshi, and this sloka is part of their conversation. Agastya Maharshi asks Skanda, why is Kashi revered with these 6 names? And here is the sloka. Varanasiti Kashiti Rudravasa iti Prabho Avapa Namadheyani Kathametani Sapuri Ananda Kananam Ramyam Avimuktam Anantaram Mahasmasana iti Katham Khyatam Shikidvaja Yetadhityamyaham Shrotum Samdeham Mepanodaya. These are the words of Agastya Maharshi towards Subramanya, and here is what it means. This place, Kashi, is revered with 6 different names. They are Varanasi, Kashi, Rudravasam, Ananda Kananam, Avimukta Kshetram, Mahasmasanam. Why is this place revered with these 6 different names, and what is the significance behind each of these names? And for our context about Gnyanvapi, we are going to go with only 2 names, Kashi and Avimukta Kshetram, and we'll see why. So the first one, why it is called as Kashi. There is a huge narration associated with this name Kashi in Skanda Purana, and it is impossible to cover in this doc film, so I'll skip all that and go straight to the point why it is called as Kashi. Kash in Sanskritam means to radiate, to shine. This place always has been shining with indescribable knowledge or Jnanam, and that is the reason this place is called as Kashi. A quick side note, we have this popular name called Prakash. It's of 2 words again, pra and kash. Pra means to move forward, progression, propel in that context. And kash, as I said in Sanskritam, means to radiate. The one who radiates things forward is called as Prakash. Actually, it's the name of Surya because he radiates light. Same way we also use this word Buddhi Prakash. That means your intelligence is radiating. So all these come from one word, one root word called Kash. And as this place, Kashi, always radiates Jnana, hence it is called as Kashi. Coming to the second name, Avimukta. It is called as Avimukta Kshetram because Shiva and Parvati always resides in this place and under no circumstances they move away from this place, even during the great dissolution. Mukta or Mukta means to liberate or to move out of one thing to another, and as they never move out of this place is revered as Avimukta Kshetram. So that was briefly the point number 1 about the name of Kashi, and now let's move to the second point, the geography of Kashi. And here is what Subramanya explains about the geography of this place to Agastya Maharshi, and now you will understand why we picked up only those two names, Kashi and Avimukta Kshetram. While explaining the geography of this place, Kashi, Subramanya goes on extensively elaborating about innumerable temples and places and tirthas. So it's again very huge. So I'll zero into the context of Gnyanvapi again. So I just picked up these 3 slokas and the straight translations are: the first one, this place called Kashi is the abode of Vishveshwara Jyotirlingam. And here Shiva manifested himself in the form of a lingam. That's the first one. And in the second sloka, Subramanya says that this place called Avimukta has a perimeter of 5 krosas. Even today in Varanasi, this perimeter is very well defined and revered. It is called as Pancha Krosa Kashi. The third and the most important part of the narration from Subramanya about this lingam comes now. He says to Agastya Maharshi that this Jyotirlingam of Vishveshwara, which is in the center of this Panchakrosa Kashi, is visible from any point in this entire perimeter. Such huge was the actual Vishveshwara lingam, which was mentioned in Skanda Puranam. Now we don't know what happened to that lingam, and let us not jump to any conclusions or assumptions. But as far as Skanda Maha Puranam goes, the Vishveshwara Jyotirlingam was visible from any point in the perimeter of this 5 Krosa Kashi. As explaining the geography of this place, since Subramanya used these 2 names, Kashi and Avimukta, that is the reason I just picked up these 2. But there is still a lot more to it. We'll see what comes next. Number 3. Up next is the crux of the entire subject, Gnyanvapi. What is Gnyanvapi? Here it is. While Subramanya continues to explain the geography of Varanasi, like what we saw in the point number 2 and thereon, he explains about each and every holy spot in the entire geography of Varanasi. And that is the moment when Agastya Maharshi asks this question to Subramanya. Skanda Jnanoda Tirthasya Mahatmyam Vada Sampratam Gnyanavapim Prasamsamti Yatah Swargauka Sopyalam. And this is what Agastya Maharshi asks Subramanya. Skanda, I want to know why this well called Jnanoda or Gnyanavapi is highly revered by everyone. Ghatodbhava Mahaprajna Shrunupapa Pranodinim Gnyanavapya Samutpattim Kadhyamanam Mayadhuna. Subramanya in response says that, Agastya, I will narrate to you the origins and the spiritual significance of Gnyanvapi. And these slokas specifically I narrate the 33rd Adhyaya Kasi Khanda Skanda Maha Puranam. This is where the history and the heritage and the spiritual significance of Gnyanvapi is extensively detailed out in 300 slokas. 300 slokas elucidate only about Gnyanvapi, and this is an undisputable account of how important Gnyanvapi has been in Sanatana Dharma and by extension to every Hindu. And Subramanya narrates how Gnyanvapi originated. It's a long story, but I would cut and directly go to the point. When Ishvara took the form of Lingodbhava Murti, which is revered as the very first Shivalinga, to cool down that Lingodbhava Murti, he came to Varanasi, and that is where he thrust his Trishul into the ground to create a water body, and that water body is known today as Gnyanvapi. Up next is point number 4, the most important detail from Skanda Puranam about Gnyanvapi, the location of Gnyanvapi. Chakhana cha trisulena dakshinopa kantataha kundam prachanda vegena rudro rudra vapurdaraha The translation is, Ishana, to cool down the Lingodbhava Murti, thrusted his Trishula into the ground towards the south side of Visvesvara Jyotirlingam, and there emerged a water body which is nothing but the Gyanvapi. These shlokas from Skanda Puranam hold the extremely important details about the actual location of the Jyotirlinga of Visvesvara in Varanasi. Dakshinopa Kantataha, towards the south of Visvesvara Jyotirlinga, emerged Gnyanvapi. Now today if you see the map, where is Gyanvapi and where is Visvesvara Mandir today? And many of us know that this was constructed just 500 to 600 years ago. But the actual Visvesvara Jyotirlinga Mandir is towards the north side of Gyanvapi, which could be potentially in the area of the current Gyanvapi mosque. And this temple, historically, which has been proven that the Islamic tyrants like Lodhi to Aurangzeb, they destroyed the grand Kashi Vishwanath Jyotirlinga Mandir. If we really want to know the truth, the most ancient and authentic scripture, Skanda Puranam, Kasi Khandam, that will give us the right details about the accurate location of the Visvesvara Jyotirlinga. Up next, fifth and the last one, the significance of Gnyanvapi. Jnana Rupoha Mevatra Dravya Murtim Vidhayacha Jadya Vidvamsanam Kuryam Jnanopadeshanam. These are the words of Visvesvara himself. And here is what he says. I myself assumed the liquid form or the water form and shall destroy Jadyam, which means ignorance, and impart Jnanam, which is the right knowledge. This well is highly revered as the manifestation of Ishvara himself. And the antiquity of Avimukta is so much that it is even elaborated in Mahabharata, maybe a couple of hundreds of times, over the 18 Parvas. Like this, the significance of Gnyanvapi is very well elaborated in the entire Kasi Khandam. It is all in all called with three different names: Shivatirtham, Gnyanvapi, and Jnanoda. So that is a very brief outlook and account about Gnyanvapi from the most authentic source, which is Skanda Maha Puranam. The reason I made this doc film is to raise awareness in people about the significance of Gnyanvapi, and even more than that, people should understand the significance of the location which is north of Gnyanvapi, the real location of the grand Kashi Vishwanath Jyotirlinga Mandir, which was demolished by the barbaric tyrants like Aurangzeb and likes of him. So just to reiterate the actual references, Skanda Maha Puranam, Kasi Khandam, Gnyanvapi, chapters 33 and 34. That is where the real truth lies deep. Actually, I wanted to conclude the video right here itself with the references, but I just want to take it a step further, taking into the agony of millions of Hindus after these arguments of Shivaling versus fountain. And here is my position on this. In the same compound, hardly at a distance of 100 feet max, continuous abhishekas of milk and honey being performed to Vishwanatha Jyotirling in the Golden Temple, and on the other side of the 100 feet, another Shivaling is lying in the pool of water where people are washing their feet. As soon as I heard this news and watched it on the TV, I really felt so happy looking at this extreme dichotomy, and what came to my mind are the words of Ravanasura. These two Shivalingas, one lying in the pool of water where people are washing their feet, and the one under the Golden Temple, both demonstrate the epitome of Shiva Tattva. And I had a smile on my face to see that how Ravanasura's words became a reality. And these are the words of Ravana Brahma. Drushadvichitra talpayor bhujanga mauktikasrajor garishtaratna lostayo suhrudvipaksha pakshayo trunaravinda chakshusho prajamahi mahendrayo samam pravartayan manah kada sada sivam bhaje. This is a snippet from the Shiva Tandava Stotram written by Ravana Brahma, and the translation is Shiva, who has equanimous vision towards the entire humanity. He who treats a blade of grass and a grand lotus flower alike. He who treats most precious gems and a stone alike. He who treats a snake and a garland alike. When will I be able to worship him? And especially these words that I highlighted. Garishta Ratna Lostayo. Garishta Ratna means great and grand gems. Lostayo means stone. Whether you decorate him with the great grand stones, the precious gems, or you just put a block of stone on him, he treats them alike. And that is what I personally felt to experience the real Shiva Tattva with these two lingas. Garishtaratna Lostayo Samam Pravartayan Manah Kada Sada Sivam Bhaje. I would like to conclude this short doc film on Gyanvapi with the motto of the Honorable Supreme Court of Bharat. What you're seeing here is the emblem of the Honorable Supreme Court of Bharat. And here is what it says. Yato dharmas tato jayah. These are the words of Sri Veda Vyasa Maharshi taken from Mahabharatam and adopted as the supreme motto of the Honorable Supreme Court of Bharat. Where there is dharma, only there can be justice. All the wishes and prayers and hopes of 1 billion plus Hindus in Bharat and across the world to deliver justice to the grand Kashi Vishwanath Jyotirlinga Mandir lies at the feet of the Honorable Supreme Court of Bharat. And let us hope that Yato Dharmas Tato Jayah will finally prevail. I have one request for you. For the first time in this channel Project SHIVOHAM, after producing 60 plus doc films, for the first time with folded hands, I have one request towards you. Please share this video. It has to reach masses to make people aware about the real history, heritage and the spiritual significance of Gyanvapi, and even more important than that, the grand Kashi Vishwanath Jyotirlinga Mandir, which is yet to be restored. Fully adhering to the constitutional process, let us hope that justice will prevail. Kindly share this video with as many people as possible. Go to Skanda Puranam, read the references, understand for yourself. I will produce this doc film very soon in Telugu and Hindi as well, so that the outreach can be much higher. Again, I request you, please share this doc film with as many people as you can and let the truth prevail. And speaking of truth, Satyameva Jayate, the national motto of the Republic of Bharat. We all know only part of it. The full sentence is Satyameva Jayate Nandrutam. That means truth alone triumphs and not falsehood. And to articulate it in my mother tongue, Telugu, Neeru Palla Merugu, Nizam Nandi Kerugu. It means the grand Nandi, patiently awaiting, knows what is the real truth, and hope the whole world knows the truth as well very soon. And as always, thanks for watching.